running Meta Llama 3 locally, but need DSPy to use it as your default language model. You'll see exactly how to initialize the connection, setting the local server endpoint, empty API key for self-hosted models, and configuring DSPy to use this specific Llama instance for all subsequent calls. The setup is minimal, direct, and ready for immediate use.
LM equals DSPy. LM. OpenAI/Meta Llama/Meta Llama 3-8b instruct. API base equals http://localhost 7501/v1. Hash ensure this points to your port. API key equals model type equals chat. DSPy configure LM equals LM.
This demonstrates DSPy's local language model connection pattern, where you establish a link to a self-hosted model through a standardized interface. The code shows how to configure a locally running Meta Llama instance by specifying its network endpoint and model type in a single LM object. The key characteristic is how it treats a local deployment identically to cloud-based models through the same configuration API. The pattern works by creating an LM object that encapsulates the connection details, specifically the local server URL and model type, then registering it as the default backend. This abstraction allows the rest of your DSPy code to interact with the local model using the same interface as it would with any cloud provider. The design maintains consistency in how models are accessed regardless of their deployment location. This approach matters because it provides uniform access to both local and remote models. By using the same configuration pattern for self-hosted models as for cloud services, you eliminate special case code for different deployment scenarios. The immediate benefit is visible when switching between local development and cloud deployment, as only the connection parameters change while all model interaction code remains identical. The trade-off is the requirement to maintain a local server, but this is offset by the flexibility to use any OpenAI-compatible endpoint. Let's break it down line by line.
LM equals DSPy. LM. OpenAI/Meta Llama/Meta Llama 3-8b instruct.
This creates a DSPy language model object targeting the Meta Llama 3.8b instruct variant. The string argument specifies the exact model identifier that will be used for subsequent operations. This is the initialization step before any configuration is applied.
API base equals http://localhost 7501/v1. Hash ensure this points to your port.
Specifies the local server endpoint where the language model is running, using port 7501. This tells the DSPy framework to route all API requests to your locally hosted instance instead of a cloud provider.
API key equals model type equals chat.
The empty API key parameter explicitly passes no authentication, while model type equals chat configures the model to use chat completion formatting. These parameters customize the LM client for this specific local deployment.
DSPy configure LM equals LM.
This line registers the previously created LM instance as DSPy's active language model for all subsequent operations. Without this configuration, DSPy wouldn't know which model to use for predictions. Local LM initialization. This code creates an LM object that connects to a locally hosted Meta Llama 3.8b instruct model through a specified port, using the OpenAI-compatible endpoint pattern. The API key is explicitly set to an empty string, which is required syntax even when no authentication is needed. Configuration is completed by passing this LM object to DSPy. Configure, making it the active language model for subsequent operations.
The endpoint that serves no model answers every question